Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you a game you've probably never seen, by two players you've never heard of. And yet, it was one of the greatest immortal games I've ever seen. The game begins with d4 and black responds with e6. This is an invitation for white to play e4 and go into the French if he chooses to. Instead, white plays knight f3 and black responds with d5. c4 and knight f6, and we now have a queen's gambit decline structure. Knight c3 from white, and now black has many options and chooses to play c6, entering the semi-Slav. White has a rock-solid center and will get the light square bishop out either via e5 or by putting it on b7 and then exploding the center. e3 from white and knight d7 from black. White now chooses queen c2. Another possibility is bishop d3, but this allows black to take on c4 and play b5 with a very complicated position. b6 preparing bishop b7, bishop e2. Avoiding d takes c4 and then bishop b7. Castles, bishop e7 developing, and then rook d1. Lining up the rook with the queen. Castles from black, and now white explodes the center with e4. Black has to take, otherwise white will play e5 with the space advantage and kick the black knight out of the center. d takes e4, knight takes e4 and queen c7, getting the queen out of the d file and preparing to bring the rooks. Now knight c3 from white. White retreats and prepares for a future d5. White probably didn't want to trade pieces as he has the space advantage and black is cramped. c5 from black, liberating the light square bishop, and d5 from white, driving a pawn deep into black's territory. E takes and c takes. It's not yet clear whether this pawn will help win white the game or will serve as a liability and a weakness. A 6 from black. Black has the 3-on-2 queenside majority and is looking to expand on the queenside. Knight h4 from white threatening knight f5, and now forcing black to play g6 to defend the f5 square. Knight f5 helped provoke potential kingside weaknesses around the black king. Bishop h6 taking advantage of the weaknesses and attacking the rook. Rook e8, putting the rook on the open file, and queen d2 from white, threatening a fork and preparing to now play on the dark squares. Black blockades the pawn with bishop d6 and also threatens h2. White here protects the h2 pawn with g3, but had an amazing defensive resource. White could have played the amazing knight f5. Firstly, the knight can never be taken due to queen g5 check and mate. So after black takes on h2 and then retreats the bishop, the knight now controls d6 and allows the d6 pawn advance, restricting the black camp and allowing a future attack. In the game, after g3, black played b5, further expanding on the queen side. Bishop f3 from white, improving the bishop and preparing to put it on g2. b4 from black, knight e2, and then knight e4, popping the knight into the center and attacking white's queen. Queen c2, and now white supports his strong knight by bringing his other knight to f6 to support the e4 knight. Knight g2, preparing to reroute the knight from the edge and back into the center. Queen d7 from black, controlling the light squares and preparing queen h3, infiltrating into the white position. Knight e3 and rook d8, improving the rook. Bishop g2, a natural move, improving the bishop and controlling h3. But this move is a blunder and allows black to play a brilliant move. You can pause to guess what black played in this position. In this position, black played the spectacular knight takes f2. After king takes, black followed up with another brilliancy. Rook takes e3, sacrificing the rook. Bishop takes e3, and now knight g4 check. King f3 from white, trying to keep the bishop protected, and black now takes on h2 with check. King f2, knight g4 check, king f3, and now queen e6 attacking the bishop and preparing to continue the attack on the e-file. Bishop f4 protecting the bishop, rook e8 further controlling the file and the important e4 square so that no piece can block. Queen c4, and now black finishes the game in style. You can pause to find the brilliant move that black played in this position. In this position, black played the amazing queen e3 check, sacrificing the queen. Bishop takes e3, and then rook takes e3 check, King takes g4 and bishop c8 check. King g5, h6 check. King takes h6 and rook e5, and white resigned. There is no way for white to prevent bishop f8 checkmate. If you enjoyed this game and learned something, then please like and subscribe. And if you want to see more amazing and instructive chess games, then check out our other videos or playlists. Now go promote some pawns.